Howdy, it's me, Wolf. It's Tuesday. Time for a tier list. We got the Stanley Cup playoffs coming up, and conveniently enough, we just had every team either eliminated or clinched their playoff spot. So, let's do it. Let's do it. We're doing it. And yeah, we gotta just get this going. I've been on Korean Cupid all day, so I am rock solid. So I might have to go take care of that pretty soon. So we gotta just get through this. Basically, I'm gonna rank these teams based on how well I think that they will do in the playoffs. Um, we have our tiers here. Lord Stanley, basically you're a cup contender. Okay, McJesus, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Bedard's a mom. If you know, you know. And then Corey Perry, alright? And then Detroit is for all the teams that didn't make it to the playoffs. I went ahead and just threw them down here. Not really going to talk about those teams, alright? Okay, let's get into it. First, we have Anaheim. I like this team. They're a very young team. They haven't been to the playoffs in a really long time. So I was really hoping that they would make it, and they did. They did not finish the season off very well. They kind of struggled towards the end. They lost that top spot in the Pacific, and the Pacific is so bad. It's not good. Uh, I'm not really sure. I think I think if I got it right, I think they're most likely going to play Edmonton in the first round. And if that's the case, then I don't think they're going to do very well, which is it's unfortunate. It really is cuz I do like this team. All right, next we have Boston. Surprising year for Boston cuz I remember they had just a really bad season last year. Really bounced back. They got Pasternak, which is hilarious because all of those commentators from Boston can't say his name right, and it's hilarious because they're from Boston and they hardly speak English. I think they're gonna do okay, but the Atlantic has some really good teams, and there's other teams that I think are gonna do better than Boston. Really surprised at how good of a season they had. I just don't know how far that's going to take them in the playoffs. Next, we have Buffalo. This team, uh, when was it? When was the last time this team was even in the playoffs? This is the biggest surprise for I think everybody. I don't know that anyone was really expecting Buffalo to make it. Um, but not only that, but they could be one of the best teams, at least going into the playoffs. We'll have to see how well they do. Uh, I do think there are a couple of teams that have better odds at making it out of the East, but I think they're legit. I do think they are a good team. It's it's hard to say otherwise, right? So we'll put them here. I think that's fine. Now Carolina. Okay, this is interesting. We got some back to backs here. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Okay. Spoiler alert. If you're taking notes, if you're not much of a hockey guy and you're taking notes here, insider information. These are the two teams that I have most likely that could change. Most likely, these are the two teams that I have going to the final, and that would be Carolina and Colorado. Carolina has had a really good team for quite a few years now, but for some reason, they just can't make it to the final. They typically win their division. I'm expecting them to win their division this year, and I think they might be good enough. I think they might be good enough to finally make it to the final this year. I'm really hoping that's the case. But we'll see. They would have to play probably Tampa Bay or maybe Buffalo or Montreal, so we'll see. Tough task, man. The playoffs are rough. But Carolina really good. Colorado, they just won the President's Trophy, which is, for those who don't know, it's the best record in the regular season. They are a very, very good team. They got Nathan McKinnon, who plays better in the NHL than he does in the Olympics. They got McCarr. I mean, their team is stacked, man. Their team is so stacked. It's really hard to bet against them. They really dominated the regular season. They have that playoff experience. They've been here many times. They won a Stanley Cup recently. I think they're going to make it back to the final. I at least think they have the best odds to make it back to the final. And they're coming out of the Central Division, which is a pretty strong division. So the fact that they were able to win so many games in such a competitive division, very impressive. I think they're a very good team. They are a cup contender, absolutely. I have them at the top tier. Next we have Dallas, a good team. They typically have some success in the playoffs. They make it just about every year, it feels like. Kind of similar to Carolina, though. They just have a hard time making it to the final. I believe they did make it to the finals in 2020, and they lost to Tampa Bay. They do have a good team, a well-balanced team, I would say. They know how to score. A lot of veterans. Kind of scary. They've had some success in early rounds. It's hard to see them losing in the first round, so they at least have to be McJesus, I'd say. I'll put them next to Buffalo. Edmonton, this is tough, man. I never know what to say about Edmonton. Let's go here, okay? And the reason being is because, well, I mean, what? It's right here, man. They have Connor McJesus. They know how to score. They've had the playoff experience. It seems like they make it to the final every year, even though their regular season record is just kind of meh. They kind of just do what they got to do to make it to the playoffs, and then they just go on a tear, but they always lose in the final. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, right? I think they're fine there. Los Angeles Kings. What in the world? What in the world? The Los Angeles Kings made it to the playoffs. Guys, they did. They did. I'm not lying to you. They made it. And they won, what, 5 regular season games? In regulation? How could we let this happen? How did this happen? I don't know what to do with these guys. They are on a streak right now. They won the games that they needed to at the end of the season to make it in. You got to give them credit there. They do have some key players that could really carry them if need be. This is Kopitar's last year, I believe. Most likely his last year, so maybe they're playing for him. Who knows? If we're assuming that they're playing Central Division teams, they're not going to win a single game. Okay? They might be able to make some noise in the Pacific, but if they do get that second wild card spot and they have to play Colorado, just say a prayer, man. Say a prayer. I just don't see it. And I guess we do have to say we have seen the Kings win the Stanley Cup as a wild card before. That happened. So who knows, right? It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. Who knows? But I have them down here. I just can't believe they even made it. Next is Minnesota. This is one of my favorite teams for sure. Been a huge fan of this team for a long time. I'm gonna put them here, okay? And I do think this is a very good team, even an elite hockey team. Kirill Kaprizov is one of the best players in the league. A lot of veteran experience here. Man, they are a really good team. The one issue is that they just cannot win a playoff series. They cannot do it. It doesn't matter how good this team is, they just can't seem to make it out of the first round. And they got to be cursed, man. And if you're cursed, you can't make it any higher than Bedard's mom. Sorry, but they're cursed. Okay, let's move on. Montreal. So Montreal, man, this is a team that they always surprise you. They're always a surprise. Every time I think, hey, this team is good enough to compete for a Stanley Cup, they always choke, right? They always end up towards the bottom of the standings, and I'm left just scratching my head. And then there's some years where it's like somehow they barely make it to the playoffs, and then they just go on an absolute run. I don't know, man. It's that Canadian magic. I don't know what to say. They look really good this year. I really like Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield, yeah, and I mean, really, they have a number of really good players. I'm gonna put them here. I think they're pretty serious. I think they're a serious team. Nobody's really talking about them, and that concerns me because they've won a lot of games this year, and they did it in a very difficult division. I mean, the Atlantic is absolutely stacked. I think they have a chance to come out of there too. So I'll put them here. Next is Ottawa, another Canadian team. I'm gonna put them here. I do think they'll have a decent performance in the playoffs, but they have some very serious competition. They're simply just playing teams that are a lot better than them. That's the unfortunate thing. A good team, but there's just too much competition in that division. You know, I like Kachuk. I like Stutzla. They got some good players. Their goaltending has come up big for them in the past. Just like year after year, they always seem to find these random goaltenders that just go off. So who knows? Maybe someone can carry them. It's chaos, man. It's chaos. Who knows? I'll have them